after watching this video, you're gonna have your most frizz-free wash day yet. I know that frizz is the enemy for most people with curly hair, and while it is a natural part of having textured hair and some curly hair will be more frizz prone than others, there are some things you can do to minimize it, and there may be a few things that you're missing out on in your routine to reduce frizz. So today we're gonna wash and style our hair together. I'm gonna walk you through everything that I personally do on a wash day to prevent frizz, so hopefully it helps you too. So let's get started right in the shower. So the first thing we're going to do is clarify our hair. I start by wetting my hair with warm water, just making sure my hair is fully saturated with water, and then I massage my scalp before applying any shampoo just to loosen the dirt and grease. And then I go in with shampoo, emulsifying it in my hands first and then massaging it throughout my scalp. And I'm really focusing on those areas of build up like the crown of my head, the nape of my neck. These areas for some reason are very prone to build up. And then I'm rinsing the shampoo out, massaging my scalp as I do so, and I'm going in with a second cleanse because I feel like my hair is never quite clean, especially when I've got a little build up, unless I do a double cleanse. I actually double cleanse my hair every single time I wash it, but if you're clarifying, then you should definitely double cleanse. You could use a more clarifying harsh shampoo on the first wash and then a gentler shampoo for the second wash. It's really important as well, if you are using products on your hair and you've got product build up, that you do take the shampoo down the lengths of your hair. If you don't, then you're not going to effectively remove any product build up from the lengths of your hair. Then this can leave your hair dull, frizzy, lifeless. So now I'm rinsing the shampoo out, massaging my scalp as I do so, and really making sure that I've got all of the shampoo out of the lengths of my hair as well. I'm rinsing until the water runs clean, and you can see that my hair is kind of tangled, kind of frizzy at this point. That is where conditioner comes in, so I'm applying conditioner to the lengths of my hair. This is going to help detangle, smooth your cuticle, stop the hair from feeling rough and dry. So I apply this to the lengths of my hair, and I really like to massage it in first before doing any kind of detangling. And another tip that I have for frizz is to squish to condition. That is where I'm just adding some extra water here, and I'm squishing the water and conditioner into my hair. This is going to really help get that water and conditioner into my hair to hydrate it from the inside out, and it's also helping to loosen tangles before I go in with detangling. And look how easy I'm finding it to detangle here. This is pretty much real time, so I'm starting at the very end, going up each section of my hair in small increments. The brush is gliding through quite nicely, and it didn't take me too long to detangle at all really, though I think I might have detangled my hair on dry hair before this wash day, so that is another reason why it's easier to detangle. I'm squishing to condition again after detangling, so you can do squish to condition before or after, but it really does help to hydrate the curls, and hydrated curls are happy, healthy curls, because frizz is just a curl that needs moisture. So now I'm rinsing the conditioner out of my hair, giving it a little shake and a scrunch just to try and keep the clumps in my hair, and I'm removing a little bit of water but not too much. I don't want to take all of that hydration out of my hair, and this is what my hair's looking like before styling. Still wet and minimal frizz. Now we're on to styling, and your styling routine and products you use can really make or break how your wash day results turn out. So the first thing that I'm doing in my styling routine is starting with soaking wet hair. So my hair is wet out of the shower, but as I've just taken a little bit of time to set the camera up, it has just started to dry. And you might find that if you style your hair out of the shower, that your hair does start to dry while you've like left the shower, got dried, got dressed. So you might want to grab yourself a spray bottle. I'm using warm water just because I find that it helps soak into my hair a bit easier. So I'm spritzing my hair, just making sure that it is soaking wet, and you can see that it has kind of started to dry underneath a bit. There's definitely some frizz, it's definitely starting to tangle. Some people really don't like styling on soaking wet hair. It isn't for everyone. It can, I guess, weigh some curls down and make them less defined, but I personally find that for the most frizz-free results, I have to start on soaking wet hair. I'm going to do a twist just to show you how much water is in my hair. Okay, it's pretty wet. You want to hear how much water is in your hair, so you want to hear that. The main causes of frizz are lack of moisture and lack of hydration. So my hair is hydrated, it's got lots of water in it. I've hydrated it with the squish tick and dish method in the shower. So lack of moisture is a thing that we're gonna tackle next. Obviously we do condition in the shower, but there's no kind of moisturizing product in my hair right now that's gonna keep the frizz at bay and keep my curls moisturized between wash days. So I'm gonna add a little bit of curl cream. So it really depends on your hair type as to how much or what kind of curl cream that you want to use. I do have another video about choosing different products for your hair type, which I'll link up here for you. And I also just released a product guide which goes into more detail about how to choose different hair products for your hair type, how to determine your hair type. So I'm just using a very small amount. I don't use a lot at all, especially with like ones like this, because this one is very concentrated, as you can see. If it goes really white on your hands, it means it's concentrated. So for me, I focus on the parts that are driest first. So for me, that is the ends and the underneath. But for you, that might be the top of your hair. For me, I tend to just apply the excess to the roots. Otherwise, I find if I apply too much curl cream there, it can get weighed down. The roots of my hair are my waviest part, and also because my hair is long, it can struggle to curl at the roots. So I don't want to do anything to weigh my roots down, but I do need a small amount of moisture in my hair just to keep the frizz at bay and to keep my curls moisturized. There's a little dry patch here, so I'm just going to wet that. A spray bottle like this is honestly going to be your best friend. Now that is pretty much distributed. I'm going to apply it a little bit more because I think my ends are in need of a cut, so they're in need of a little bit of extra moisture at the moment. At this point, because it's not been brushed through properly, your hair's probably not going to feel super smooth, but you want to be able to run your hands through it. There should be no knots at this point. I'm now just going to brush that through, just to smooth the frizz and just to make sure there are no remaining tangles. This also really helps to distribute the curl cream, so I know that every strand is covered. So now I've added moisture, we're moving on to the styling routine. Certain styling techniques can actually create more frizz, so you do have to kind of play around to figure out what works best for your hair. For example, with my hair, if I were to style it in a center parting, I would get more frizz at my roots. This always happens to me when I do split styling videos, and it's because I have baby hairs at my roots. So when I style in a center parting, rather than pulling all my hair back and styling without a parting, they kind of just stick out a bit. I think it's because they're not smoothed with the rest of my hair. So I personally always style my hair without a parting and then add my parting on dry hair at the end of styling. But it is whatever works for you, because some people really find it a struggle to actually create a parting on dry hair. I suppose if your hair is more curly at the roots, it can be a bit more difficult. So I'm going to brush style my hair today, and there are obviously various different styling techniques that you can follow. I just find that brush styling really helps define the curls the most, and also it helps to smooth frizz, and yeah, it just creates really good definition. If you want a routine without brush styling, check out my quick routine that I recently posted. That is no brush styling, just a quick in shower styling routine. But for me, for the absolute maximum definition and frizz control, I like to brush style. I also find that this kind of helps my curls last longer between wash days, but again, brush styling isn't for everyone. Not every technique is going to work for everyone. So I'm just going to speed through this because I do have other brush styling videos, and this video isn't about brush styling itself. So when you are brush styling, you want to make sure that you're taking small sections, kind of securing the brush at the roots. You always want to brush it through first to get rid of any tangles, and then brush with tension in an upwards motion. This is the Bounce Curl Define styling brush. I absolutely love it for brush styling. It's such a game changer because it separates the curls for you. Obviously, I'll link all products in the description below. The next thing that is really important in frizz control is adding a hold product. If you are experiencing really frizzy hair after a wash day, like in the days between wash day, and you're not using a hold product on wash day like gel, you can't really expect to not get frizz. So I'm going to use the strongest hold gel that I've found today, and when it comes to brush styling, I usually apply gel in sections If I'm not brush styling or sectioning, then I will just apply all of the gel after I've like scrunched the curl cream in. I'll just glaze over and scrunch the gel in. But today, because I'm brush styling, I'm just going to give a little scrunch to my hair first with the curl cream in it. My hair's getting so long, can't even fit it on camera. And you can hear that it's started to dry out as I've been talking to you, so I might actually need to add a little bit of extra water here. Okay, gel time. So this gel can be a bit hit and miss for some people. It does definitely take a little bit of getting used to. I'm mixing it with water in my hands just to make it easier to apply. I find I get the best results when I apply it in sections. I find if I apply it all at once to my hair, then I actually end up over applying it. So it can like turn out a bit sticky. And scrunch. You want it to kind of feel seaweedy. I know that not everyone likes the feel of that, but that's how you want it to feel to get really juicy frizz-free curls. So if it stops feeling like that, then just add more water. You can always remove the water before drying it, but this is like a really vital step. Sometimes if I find these bits go a little bit frizzy, I'll re-wet them and then kind of rake my fingers through with a little bit of tension, and you can see that they're kind of forming clumps again. And then I just scrunch. You kind of want to have as minimal frizz as possible during this point, because frizz when wet will just translate to frizz when dry. For me, it's kind of impossible to have zero wet frizz. I always have a couple of little flyaways, but for me, I don't really mind. I find that gives me a bit more volume when my hair is dry. So that's that section. I'm going to do the next couple of sections, and then I'm going to come back with the front section to show you how I style without a parting. If you want to see my full sectioning brush styling routine, I've got a couple, but I will link them up here for you. Okay, so onto the front and final section. You can see it has started to dry out slightly. I'm not sure if it's really showing up on camera, but if I were to style it like this, it would go stringy and frizzy. So I'm making sure it's soaking wet first. There are several ways that you can style the front section, but this is just a really, really easy way that I wanted to show today. This is from Sophie Marie Curley's flip section method. So I'm brushing it through first just to make sure there's no tangles and to smooth the water through my hair. If you want to, you can apply your gel first before brushing it through. I just find with the thicker ones, because they do add grit to the hair, they can add a little bit of friction. So sometimes it's best just to apply the thicker ones after brushing through. But if it's a more slippery one, like the Tootie Lab one, for example, that I really love, then I will always brush start with that one. So I'm just taking a few sections and brushing forward, a second section, and then the third and final section. Some people do this all in one section, but I just find it just helps the curls lay better once they're styled. Okay, so no frizz in sight here. Now I'm going to add my gel. Just a small amount to each section, mixing with water in my hands to make it easier to apply, emulsify the product. And I'm just glazing it over and scrunching. And then I'm going to flip my hair back. So I'm just flipping to the side, giving it a little shake, bring it all to the side. You can see there is a bit of a gap there where the other section was, so I'm just going to wet that. It's been sat there while I've been styling the top section. This is going to help loosen the roots. Then we flip to the other side, so very gently. I'm not like kind of throwing my head, I'm kind of moving my hair around my body, and that kind of just really helps the hair to fall just into place nicely. Okay, so now I've flipped to both sides, I'm going to flip forward and scrunch again. I can see a few little flyaways here, but I'm not too worried about them. I don't think they're going to show up on my dry hair. But if you do have like some stringy bits or a lot of frizz here, then you can just do, I know it feels counterintuitive, but you can just do the rake and shake here and then give a little scrunch. Just lifting here at the roots and scrunching. Okay, now I'm going to flip all my hair back upright, gently tilting it to the back. Now that it's styled, let's talk about some of the things that can cause frizz when diffusing your hair. I see a lot of people plopping their hair after applying their styling products, or like micro plopping to remove some excess water before drying the hair. This is a good hack to speed up your drying time and remove excess water, but it can also remove excess product. So if you are scrunching water out of your hair with a curl towel, or you are plopping your hair and you're finding that you've got a lot of frizz with dry hair, it's probably removing the product from the outer layer of your hair, and then that outer layer isn't protected. So if you do feel you need to remove some excess water, just remove a bit of excess water first with a curl towel, and then you can go in and apply a little bit of extra hold product like your gel before drying your hair. I know it's another thing that kind of feels counterintuitive, it feels like a waste of product, but it really does help to lock that frizz in place, but also speed up your wash day. So when it comes to diffusing, I personally like to promote root volume and definition by lifting my hair at the root and cup diffusing. But for some people, just the action of the hair blowing upwards creates too much frizz. So if that happens to you, then try hover diffusing first. So you can literally just hold the dryer over your hair and just hover. Some things to keep in mind with hover diffusing are, don't have too high a speed. If it's too high a speed, then it can blow your hair around. Also, try not to have the dryer too close to your hair. Again, it may blow your hair around. Move it too much, create excess frizz. But for me, I find that hover diffusing can like make my hair dry a bit too flat at the roots, because the water weight weighs my hair down when it's wet, especially as my roots are my least curly part of my hair anyway. So I really like cup diffusing my hair, and if you're the same but you find that it gives you frizz, then something you can do is pixie diffuse, turn the dryer off between sections. So I'm going to lift my hair at the roots, place my hair into the dryer by kind of shimmying it up, and then I'm going to turn the dryer on. I'm going to hold it for about between 10 and 30 seconds, whatever you feel works best for you. Turn it off and then bring it back down, and then you can repeat this in sections across your head until your curls are set in place. And then once they're set in place, you may find you don't need to turn the dryer off between sections, or you might find that you want to do that for your entire head, whatever works for you. Something else you want to avoid at this point in the drying process, whether you're diffusing or air drying, is touching your hair too much. It's okay to kind of pick it up gently and gently cup it, but you don't want to be like doing any moving about too much or scrunching, because this can create friction and frizz on your hair. But once your curls are kind of set in place, it doesn't matter as much. Towards the end of diffusing, I tend to scrunch my hair just to scrunch out the crunch, any like gel cast. If you touch your hair too much at the beginning of drying, then it can just create some flyaways and frizz. So my hair is now fully dry. I just had a little clip to give me a little bit of volume at my roots there, and these are my results. Pretty defined, pretty frizz free, if you ask me. Do not get me wrong, I'm not gonna lie to you, I do definitely have some frizz throughout my hair, but that is normal for me. I think the goal here is to have as minimal frizz as possible. So the final tip for preventing frizz on a wash day is adding an oil, sealing your curls with an oil. This is really beneficial for a lot of curls, especially very frizz prone curls, coarse curls, very dry curls. Not only does sealing your curls with an oil add shine and help to smooth down frizz, it also helps to seal your cuticle and lock moisture in place. For some hair types, it can weigh the hair down, make it look a bit stringy, especially if you have low porosity or fine hair. But for coarser hair and drier hair, it can be a real game changer. So you can either take like single curls at a time and kind of help lock the frizz in place and redefine them by going over them like that. I like to kind of apply the majority of oil to the underneath of my hair to prevent tangles, but if you're applying it to prevent frizz, then you would just glaze it over all of your hair very gently. You don't want to disrupt the curls too much here. I'm barely putting any pressure on my hair. And then a gentle scrunch. This will break up any cast from the gel that you have remaining on your hair, but it shouldn't cause any excess frizz. So that is how you would apply oil to your hair. Now you may have done this entire routine and be thinking, well, that's great, Hannah, but I still have some frizz in my hair. And obviously, as I said, I do still have some frizz in my hair throughout. It's functional frizz helping give me volume. I personally always have a tiny bit of frizz in my hair even once I have finished styling my hair. But if you do have any pieces that are just not defined, for example, I think I've got one around here. This is the part of my hair that was drying out in the styling process. So this clearly did not have enough curl cream on it. It didn't have enough water on my hair when I was styling, and I probably didn't apply enough gel to this. So I'm going to show you a quick fix for this, and this is something you can do between wash days to refresh any wayward curls as well. So you want to take a gel or a refresh spray. You could use a gel that you used on wash day, but this one is quite thick and heavy, so you may not find that you can refresh as easily with this one. Or you could do something like this curl jelly refresh spray. I absolutely love this for like day 2+ refreshes. I haven't used this on my channel in a while, so I'm just going to apply a little bit to my hands, and you can see that it's quite runny, so I don't need to add any water with it. However, if it was really undefined, then I might. So I'm just gonna glaze that over my hair, separating it from the rest of my hair. If it's really undefined and frizzy, then you can wet it. To reset the curl in your hair, you do need to kind of wet your hair, because that breaks down the hydrogen bonds and then helps you redefine it. It's actually very difficult to refresh and get the definition back in your curls without wetting them. So I've wet that piece down, no frizz in sight. And I'm just going to, there's a few ways you can do it. You can just do that, give it a shake and give it a scrunch. Or if you want maximum definition, you can smooth and you can finger roll. Bring it up to the top and bring it back down like that. Oh my goodness, how defined is that right now? Give it a scrunch. It looks like a DNA strand. Wow. And then just diffuse that bit dry on its own, or you can leave it to air dry if you're in a rush. Oh wow, look at the shrinkage. Boing. So I think we can agree that this is a big difference to how it was before. So there's just a little hack for you to redefine any frizzy pieces. Sort my parting out a little bit, make sure it's in place where I want it. And these are my minimal frizz wash day results. I really hope that you found this video helpful. Please let me know if you followed along with the routine and you got your most frizz-free wash day yet. And just remember that all curls will have some frizz, especially as the days go by between wash days. Your hair dries out a bit and you're just out and about living your life, you're out in the elements, but hopefully these tips will help to minimize it. So yeah, as always, if you did enjoy the video, please feel free to give it a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.